Good evening. You're watching the main news on HKIBC. I'm Edna.
And I'm Isabel Wong. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories.
Government suspends contractors associated with Sha Tin to Central Link construction scandals.
British journalist Victor Marlett granted 7-day visitor visa as media groups demand explanation from government.
Meeting between Mike Pompeo and Wang Yi yielded little results.
The government has finally taken action against 4 contractors responsible for a spate of construction scandals associated with the Sha Tin to Central Link project, imposing bans from 3 months up to a year.
Among the firms punished was Leighton Contractors, which has been barred from bidding for public projects for a year, while further regulatory actions could follow. A spate of construction issues have plagued the $97.1 billion Sha Tin to Central Link since May, after steel bars were found to be deliberately cut short to compensate for mistakes at Hong Kong Station. Concrete slabs were found to contain holes in a phenomenon known as honeycombing. While a judge-led commission of inquiry continues its investigation into shoddy works at Hong Kong Station, the Development Bureau has taken regulatory action against responsible contractors. Leighton Contractors has been suspended from tendering for all government works for 12 months, effective from today, in relation to construction issues at Hong Kong Station. The firm has been slapped an extra 3-month ban on bidding for building and roadworks after its joint venture with China State Construction Engineering was responsible for issues uncovered at Exhibition Centre Station. Meanwhile, Samson Construction and Trading and Sin Chong Construction were suspended for 4 months each for their shoddy work at To Kwa Wan Station. The government added that it reserves the right to take further regulatory actions against relevant contractors. The firms have either not responded to the punishments or refused to comment. Lawmaker Michael Tian, an expert on infrastructure projects, welcomed the government's decision. But he said the scope of the ban should be expanded to cover not just government works, or else it could have limited deterrent effect.
Well, Financial Times journalist Victor Marlett has been given 7 days to wrap up his work arrangements in Hong Kong after the government denied him a new working visa.
That is a stark contrast to the usual immigration policy, which allows British passport holders to stay for 6 months without a visa. The Immigration Department refused to comment. Yu Pinang reports.
Just days after the government sent back his working visa renewal application, Financial Times Asia news editor Victor Marlett had stumbled into another obstacle. The newspaper revealed today that Marlett was permitted entry into Hong Kong on a 7-day visitor visa at the airport as he returned the city from an overseas trip yesterday. Immigration officials did not provide an explanation for the shortened visitor visa, Financial Times Hong Kong office said in a statement. The short stay permit was a sharp contrast to the city's existing immigration policy, where British passport holders are usually allowed in stay as a tourist for 6 months without the need of a visa. Media reports even suggested that Marlett was held for questioning at the airport for an hour after he returned from Bangkok last night. The Immigration Department refused to comment on the case. The revelation followed an unprecedented move by the government to throw out Marlett's working visa renewal last Friday, also without any explanation. Speculation is rife that the rejection was prompted by the Foreign Correspondents Club's decision to invite independence activist Andy Chen for a lunch talk in August. Marlett is a vice president at the FCC and was moderator of the controversial event. He had stood by the talk, insisting he did not support independence, but Chen deserved a platform because of his rights to free speech. The talk went ahead amid strong protests from the SAR and Beijing governments. However, the Hong Kong National Party, which Chen founded, was outlawed last month by the Security Bureau on the grounds of endangering national security. The Financial Times said it would continue to seek clarification from the Hong Kong government about the unprecedented rejection. Yupinam, HKIBC.
Major media associations in Hong Kong have submitted 15,000 signatures as they demanded an explanation on the government's refusal to renew Victor Mallet's visa.
But Hong Kong's sole delegate to China's top legislative body said he did not think the visa rejection had anything to do with free speech or press freedom. Here's Yupina.
Members of the Hong Kong Journalists Association, the Foreign Correspondents Club, and other industry bodies rallied outside government headquarters in Tamar today. The group submitted a petition letter to the government, as well as 15,000 signatures from media workers and the public, against the Immigration Department's refusal to renew the visa of British journalist Victor Mallet. Mallet has been running the Financial Times news operations in Asia and is also vice president of the FCC.
The FCC is simply asking for a reasonable explanation to the Hong Kong authorities for this move, and we're just standing by our statement and we're waiting for explanation. The ball is now in the government.
In an editorial today, the Financial Times labeled the government's decision as a de facto expulsion of Mallet, which sent a chilling message to everyone in Hong Kong. The incident also highlighted Beijing's tightening grip on the territory and the steady erosion of basic rights. The London-based newspaper stressed it did not support Hong Kong independence, but was all for free speech. Meanwhile, 30 prominent lawyers on the 1,200-strong election committee responsible for selecting the chief executive